Welcome to Caricomp Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
$50 million phones were carrying finished facial recognition code, and almost nobody who installed the app knew it was there. It could spot a face. It could turn that face into a string of numbers. It could match that number to a name. And it just sat there, quietly, waiting. If you've ever downloaded an app without reading every line of the fine print, this story is about you. Because the code we're talking about wasn't a rumor. It was built, tested, and shipped onto tens of millions of devices. Researchers found it inside the app for Meta's smart glasses, a tool called NameTag. Meta says the code never actually ran. Users couldn't have switched it on. But it was there. So the question that runs under this whole story is simple. If the machinery is loaded and ready, does it matter that nobody pressed start? Let's start with what this code could actually do. Researchers found NameTag running 3 separate AI steps right on the phone itself. The first step spotted a face. The second cropped it out. The third turned that face into a biometric signature, a unique numerical fingerprint, and checked it against a stored list. That's not a sketch on a whiteboard. That's a working system. For the everyday person, it means the difference between someday and already on your device just collapsed. Then there's the timeline. And the timeline is the whole story. The code was sitting in the app as early as January 1st, 2026. Meta didn't publicly admit any interest in facial recognition until February. And the fact that finished code was already on millions of phones? That stayed unacknowledged until June. So for months, the gap between what was built and what was disclosed just widened. Now, does dormant code actually cost a company anything? History says yes. Meta paid $650 million to settle privacy claims in Illinois. It paid $1.4 billion to Texas over an older facial recognition system it had already shut down. Shutting something off didn't erase the bill. For anyone building these tools, that's the sharp lesson. Turning a feature off is not the same as being off the hook. And regulators are watching the shipped code, not just the switched-on code. Texas alone has pulled in more than $2.5 billion in biometric privacy settlements. Cade Crockford from the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts put it plainly. Meta slipping that code into the glasses is exactly why privacy laws need real enforcement teeth. For the rest of us, that means the law is starting to ask a new question. Not did you use it, but did you build it and stay quiet? Here's the twist most people miss. This isn't a story about a company trying to spy on you. It's a story about a hole in the law. Most privacy rules treat not active as good enough. But dormant is not the same as absent. And it's definitely not the same as incapable. So let's bring it home. Meta shipped finished face scanning code to 50 million phones and didn't clearly tell anyone. The code never ran, and Meta pulled most of it within a day of being caught. But the fight now is whether just having that code loaded should count as collecting your data. Whether you build these tools or just download an app on your lunch break, this changes what off really means. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, Caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.